Welcome to the Knackly Q&A. The format for this is that we're going to first go through and do a training on a specific item in Knackly, and today we're going to focus on creating a development environment within Knackly so that you could go through, be making adjustments to templates, adding new variables, testing them out, and then when you're ready, you can basically push those adjustments out to your users. Then after we go through that training, we'll then we'll go through and open it up to any questions that anyone has. So to explain, first off, I want to explain catalogs, because you need to understand catalogs in order to understand how to create a development environment. A catalog, you'll see, is I got estate planning and Knackly training. These are two catalogs that are set up right now in my workspace. If I go to the catalogs page, you'll see that that corresponds right here to estate planning and Knackly training. Estate planning, you'll see catalog type right here. Knackly training, you'll see Knackly training. When you look at this and you go to the designer, so these catalogs match up in the designer. So estate plan right here, you'll see that this has the filled in kind of briefcase for Knackly estate plan and Knackly training, and these correspond to a catalog. A catalog, the reason why you'd use set up different catalogs is that you want to keep your data separate. So if you have different practices in your firm, or you just want to be able to segregate information, that's when you set up a different catalog. Or in this case, if you want to create a development environment. So I'm going to go ahead and go to catalog, and we're going to create my development environment. I'm just going to call it dev. Now, when I do a new catalog, I have a couple of options. One is I can do a new catalog type and it'll create one called dev. But the cool thing is I can actually pull from estate plan and press OK. And I just do, and then it gives me, so now I am pointing, it didn't create a new one here, I'm pointing to estate plan. I can go through and make any changes that I want. And the way I have it right now, I can actually, any change I make could show up in dev, and I'm just going to do a refresh so that dev shows up here so you can see that. So that I've got dev and estate plan. They're pointing to the exact same templates, same everything. But say I want to be able to do some testing, or I want to make some adjustments, but I don't want, I have things, I still need to produce documents during this time, and I don't want to potentially mess that up because I'm starting to add new variables, not sure if my layout's right, I'm doing testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to catalog. And estate planning, you're going to see, and estate planning is the one I want to always, that I want to control and make sure that everything is working the way, working right. You'll see here apps on the catalog. You'll see latest version. Now, I can adjust this to say pinned at, or I can disable it. But if I do a pinned at, then I can actually say the date of when I want it to be pinned to. So in this case, I'm just going to do to right now. And I can do all of these to that date. So now I'm going to click Save. And these are all, estate planning is pinned at this. When I go into estate planning right now, I do a client intake, I've got all of my information. Now, if I wanted to go through and I'm going to add a new variable, I'm just going to call it test 3. I'm just going to do it as a text. I'm going to go ahead and say save. In here, right now, it's not going to show up, but if I add it to a template, or I can do a relevance condition, and I'll just say true, and true means it's going to always show up no matter what. So if I go into a state plan, I click on here, I'll see it's not here. It doesn't show up because it's pinned at a previous version. But if I go into dev, do a new state plan, I have it here. So with this, you can go through and, like I said, make changes, any changes that you need to make. You can test it. You can go through and make sure everything's working the way you want. Then when you're done, you'll go to catalog, and I would just repin this to a newer time. And you can go through and so that it goes through and will update it. And this way you can go through and make adjustments and then push it live, and that allows you to push it live. So that's, in a nutshell, how you can go through and make a development environment so that you can don't have to make changes. Sorry, I keep repeating myself here. So that is the training for today. And so now we're just going to go ahead and open it up to any questions. And you can go through and just ask your questions online, and we'll stay here for 5 minutes. So any questions that you have, you can go ahead and post them.